But you see a lot of gals today with like sleeve tattoos, dozens upon dozens of them. It falls into the category, I believe, of bodily mutilation. Another really interesting thing that came up after I published the second edition is I was talking to a buddy of mine, before I get into these studies and pop them up on the screen for you, who's a medical doctor. He runs ER clinics, and he noticed the vast majority of the women that were coming in for STD testing were heavily tattooed. There was a very strong correlation between promiscuity and heavy tattooing. So there's that as well, which has also revealed itself, which you won't see in studies because pretty hard to study that sort of stuff. Thanks, Mohammed. Appreciate that. It's something that you should pass around. Yeah, please do. What I'll normally do in the past before, the advent of good AI was basically read studies with a highlighter, right? I still have a folder over there that's got a tray filled with printed studies, and some of them are like dozens upon dozens of pages long. I highlight everything and I make some notes and I do a video, and I've done lots of these now. But this one, I just basically give Grok a prompt, and I'll show you what I got over here. I'll just pop it up on the screen and then we'll sort of get into it. If you just prompt Grok to summarize things, it's actually very, very good. And I had these brought to my attention last week. Somebody sent me all of these studies like itemized. So, gratitude to those guys out there that are sending me links to TikToks and studies and social media and videos to sort of comment on for stuff like this, because it's helpful. I mean, it helps me put out more content and comment on social issues that, you want to hear a useful opinion on, if I can put it that way, rather than, the woke nonsensical one. So thanks for being here. Anyway, so this first one's titled, Do Young Women with Tattoos Have Lower Self-Esteem and Body Image Than Their Peers Without? Nonverbal Repertory Grid Technique Approach. I don't know what that means, but we have a summary here following it. I don't know if you guys can read this. Is this even legible on your screen? You probably need to be on a console on a big screen, but I'll read it to you anyway. So this is a 2019 study. National Library of Medicine investigates the relationship between tattoo, self-esteem, body image in young women between the ages of 18 and 35. So we cap this at 35. This is not, by the way, guys, unique to women. Let me just turn this a little bit. Under or in younger age groups. I mean, I see lots of women, 40s, 50s, even 60s, with relatively new tattoos. I mean, you see them at the gym a lot because, they're not wearing much, and it's all over their body, back, shoulder, sleeves, stuff like that. But this one limited it to 35. It compared 60 women with tattoos to 60 without, focusing on self-esteem and body image perception. So let's see what we got on this one. So self-esteem, women with tattoos showed significantly lower self-esteem compared to those without. Isn't that interesting? As indicated by larger gaps between the present and ideal self-concepts. So chicks with the tattoos have lower self-esteem than those without. I wonder why that is. Let's postulate. Let's take some guesses. Probably, I mean, if you're going to sit in a chair for hours, dozens of hours in some cases, maybe hundreds of hours, depending on the amount of work that's required to get done. So another guy can stick a needle in your body over and over again and like leave a little stamp, design, art, whatever it is that you want to call it. You're probably seeking something, you're probably looking for some approval, for a head nod, so like most people don't do things unless there's some kind of benefit to it, if you know what I'm saying. So makes a lot of sense. Anyway, body image, it says that there was no significant differences in body image between the two groups. Okay, cool. So it boiled down to self-esteem so far. Construct relationships. Tattooed women displayed stronger associations between the construct of ideal body, ideal self, and tattooed women's status, suggesting that tattoos may be linked to their perception of self and body. I mean, of course, that makes absolute sense because they're plastering them all over their body. Correlation. In women with tattoos, self-esteem and body image were correlated. No such correlation was observed in women without tattoos. Well, isn't that interesting? Self-esteem and body image were tied together with tatted up checks. Okay. We could skip methodology, limitations. Let's just go to the conclusion on this one. So the study suggests that young women with tattoos may have lower self-esteem than their non-tattooed peers, with tattoos potentially linked to efforts to align their real body and ideal body images. However, body image itself did not differ significantly between the groups. So it ties into esteem, not image. Very interesting. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.